What up, racer? ItsJerone here, and welcome back to another F1 2021 League Racing video. Today we're here for Apex Online Racing, the 4th round of the season, and we're here in San Marino around Imola. Now, first of all, I'd quickly like to say thanks everyone who has recently subscribed to the channel. We're working our way to 50 subs, and I'm really grateful for that. It just, also makes me feel good to, share a bit more content with a few more people, so... As you can see, in qualifying, currently pole position, but first we're heading over to the standings, and you can see after last round we actually got a P4 out of it. We finished P6 on track, got my 3-second time penalty removed, which meant I ended up in P5, but after the race, Pasti got a 10-second time penalty, so in the end we finished in 4th place, and we're currently 11 points behind Guigs, which is... not exactly the greatest. He's won the last 2 races, so he's clearly in a good form right now. And I actually practiced quite a lot for my standards for this race. I think I put in like 3-4 hours maybe. So for my standards that's really quite a lot of time. As we're currently heading into our final lap in qualifying. You can see I left enough time to do another lap if need be. First chicane, didn't really cut it enough. I didn't really get onto the red part of the Italian flag curb, let's say, so definitely left a bit of time on the table there. Then the second chicane, you can take it in a couple of different ways. You can use that yellow sausage on the inside, which I did, and yeah, pretty good lap so far, I think. Good traction out of Toza. Well, good lap, it's a decent lap. And get on the power as early as possible, 6th gear for better traction. Then heading into Aqua Minerale, you want to take this as aggressively as possible, and especially the part where you get on the power is very important, and I think I did that pretty well. Then this chicane just absolutely yeeted over that curb like it doesn't exist, and we actually find quite good traction, so we're more than 3/10 up, looking for a low 14 at the moment, and my personal best here was a 13.7, but that was on a really good lap, so anything in the 13s I'd be very happy with, as we actually have a ghost car solid there at the end of our lap, which I think gave us a bit of dirty air through the final corner, but then also a little bit of slipstream for the final part of the lap, and it means it's a 14.1 for me, and you know what, that was a very good lap. It was good enough for pole position. Well, I wouldn't say it was a very good lap, but it did the job, let's say. So we have pole position for this race, which is important. I wanted to start at the front, and I think I did that pretty well. Now my teammate isn't on mediums, she didn't put that lap on mediums, that was just a game bug. Talking about game bugs, Solid got rocked out of the game, as well as Sneaky Ninja, so both ninjas having some problems, and we had to restart the lobby. Now I actually didn't show this, but we did another lobby restart, because someone basically didn't leave any time for us to select good tires and select the strategy we wanted, so... and the setup as well. So this is basically a 3rd attempt to start the race at the moment, and you can see I definitely made sure I selected the soft tires, put in exactly 32 laps of fuel. In clear air I didn't use any fuel in practice, so that's why I went with exactly 32.0. And you can see here Gaps and Pasti failed to select soft tires. Now we actually didn't restart this time, just because we were like done with it with restarting, and we just decided to roll with it, as the 5 lights are out now, and we get a very good start and make sure we pull away from the pack immediately. So it's Guigs, my championship rival at the moment, in 2nd, then my teammate making up places all the way up to 3rd at the start. So it was very good on the starts, and what actually happened here, you can see we have quite a bit of a gap to Guigs already. That was because there was a little bit of lag involved in turn 1, and I think that was due to my own internet here, so apologies to Guigs. I didn't accidentally reset my internet, but basically it changed channel again, and I didn't know that before this race, so it should be fixed next week. But yeah, there was a little bit of lag involved there, that's why Guigs lost a bit of time, but I think overall my opening lap is very strong here, as we already pulled like another half a second through the last part of Sector 1 and Sector 2. So, very good start, I would say. Gaps and Pasti are indeed on mediums, this is not a visual glitch. They actually forgot to like properly confirm the strategy, they went into the Jesus, can I get my words out? Into the strategy screen and selected a soft, medium, soft strategy, but they forgot to confirm the strategy, so that's why they were accidentally left on mediums. And I'm still not entirely sure what will be done with it after the race, but it is against the rules and regulations of AOR to start on a different compound of tire when you're qualified in the top 10 when there's a lobby restart. In the meanwhile, you can see my teammate had a bit of a moment there out of the second chicane, and yeah, that was loose debris for my teammate. Not good, not the start she was hoping for, or at least a continuation after lap 3. But then a couple of laps later, you can see Greeks making a mistake as well. So essentially, the soft runners who were sort of with me both made mistakes. So it was a very lonely first stint, not going to lie, and I did manage to keep the gap to Gabs fairly constant at about 7 seconds. And because, well, initially my strategy would have been to go lap 12, but since we have fresh tires, I decided to go lap 13. But because I had this massive lead, I decided to go +2 on the strategy. So we're actually going to come in at lap 15. Now I'm not entirely sure what happened with the recording there, by the way. Never seen that, where a part of the video just cuts out. So that's interesting. I didn't cut any of this in the editor, so that was interesting. But we're coming into the pit lane now, and we're of course going to select a set of mediums. They of course will easily make it until the end of the race, but it should definitely be noted that mediums are not extremely strong on this track. I would say the soft compound is definitely the best race tire, so don't count out Pasty and Gabs yet. Now, I think Pasty didn't really have the pace to keep up with Gabs, so most likely I'll be battling with Gabs towards the end of the race. And fortunately for me, the medium pack also was split up significantly. We did manage to get ahead of the 3-man train of Bankai, Pedro and somebody else, not entirely sure. Then it's Mika who pulled away from them, and we caught him at lap number 20. So you can see we have a little bit of tire wear on the tires. Really annoying that MFD pops up out of nowhere. And I'm not going to make an overtake in this race, and that's because, well, Mika pulled in his pit lane right as I got DRS. And I actually decided to continue to push for a fastest lap on this lap just because I got that free DRS, and I do manage to get the fastest lap for the moment, but unfortunately I won't be able to keep it until the end of the race, as basically all the soft runners, or all the medium runners, had come in for a set of softs the lap I wanted to overtake Mika. And you can see here, as we're about to start the final lap, Gabs closed the gap all the way down to a second, but it was just enough before the DRS detection zone to make sure he didn't get it, and he was not within 1 second. So definitely a bit of pressure on me here, as I do not want to bottle this victory on the final lap of the race. I've been driving relatively safely all race, making sure I didn't make any significant mistakes, which I didn't do, but quite possibly I could have gone about 2 or 3 tenths a lap faster if I really pushed. But I decided to play it safe, and you can see my teammate DNFing from the race. She got a puncture on the straight and went into the wall as a result. Now we'll cut to a little clip right now. This was from a couple of months back, I think like 2 or 3 months back, where I was doing, well, not a social race, but sort of acting as a reserve in, not so necessarily a league I drive in, but I have a couple of friends in that league, and you can hear us in the party audio here. Really interesting last lap. I had a very good race here with Ladis and Gustav, but watch this.
He was in the detection zone, not let him pass.
Oh no! No!
So quite clearly, I absolutely want to make sure I avoid doing anything like this again. So this time I didn't run wide in Aqua Minerale on the final lap, and making sure we go up to 52 brake bias again to keep the car stable. And at this point I knew it was in the bag, no way Gabs could do anything about this anymore. So what we're going to do, and I was definitely remembering that moment at this time, we're not going to go on the power aggressively at all. We're taking it really slowly out of the final corner. And after 2 races, after 2 wet races in fact, where we didn't really score an insane amount of points, we do manage to get the victory here at Imola. and we're here for the second win of the season. So really pleased with the result. I definitely needed that. And as you can see, Greeks is all the way down in P8. I think he had another spin somewhere in the race. So it's a really good result in terms of championship standings for me. And I was very pleased with that. I felt like I really needed that. That's why I also practiced quite a lot for this race. So very happy. Not entirely sure what will happen with Pasty and Gabs as they started on the wrong tire. But I'll let you know next video. Now, if you did enjoy the video, leaving a like is always appreciated, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye bye.